What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of NBA action here on Wednesday, March 26th. We're going to break down every NBA game tonight and a couple of the NIT college basketball games that are going on. We're going to look at bets on the side and over-under, and make sure you're checking that pinned comment throughout the day to see if there are any changes as injury news and player availability is confirmed. Yesterday, guys, shaping up to be a pretty decent day. No chance to go 4-0, unfortunately. We did have the Orlando Magic minus 4.5. We saw Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner both play really, really well as usual, and we saw Anthony Black go nuts off the bench. So a nice win there for Orlando, albeit against a very weak Charlotte Hornets team. We had the Warriors minus 5, and unfortunately, we were led a little bit astray by that news that Steph was flying out to Miami. He did fly out, but did not end up playing in this game, despite being questionable headed up to game time. And just in general, the Warriors no-showed for this game, so pretty embarrassing stuff. They actually get kind of ran out of the building there by the Miami Heat. We had the Hawks plus 8.5. They made a significant comeback in that game to get us the cover there, losing by only 7. So thank you, Atlanta Hawks. We'll definitely take that. The Thunder had been dominating there against the Sacramento Kings. The game has tightened up a little bit in the third quarter, but they are still up by 12 points, so hopefully they can salt this thing away and get the double-digit win, and then we'll have a 3-in-1 day. So that would feel pretty nice, guys. Take a second out of your busy day right now, hit that like button. If we can get this video to 1,000 likes, we're giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random commenter, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Once we get to 50,000 subscribers, we are less than 200 subscribers away. We're giving away another free hoodie. If you're a huge fan of what we do here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members get exclusive early access to all of my videos and get their names up on screen in every video, but more importantly, you'll get access to our monthly members-only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member in early April. If we get to 80 channel members, we'll give away 2 hoodies next month, and we're the numbers head in the right direction. I think we're up to 62 or 63 channel members at time of recording. Also, guys, James Valentine, you've only got a couple more days here, bud, or we're gonna have to re-roll, and some other channel member is going to end up getting that hoodie. All of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily college basketball, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks, and Major League Baseball picks for opening day. We'll be making it up there on the site very, very soon. Opening day, guys, is on Thursday. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll have access to our free picks, free to use bet size calculators, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not always match what you see here in the videos. Also, guys, you will need to get over there to sign up for our free email newsletter, which will give you free picks straight to your inbox every day and updates on our results. Just make sure to check your spam folder. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today or any other feedback you have for me, and I will personally respond. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into our first game of the day. We've got the Washington Wizards going on the road here to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Wizards come into this game only 15-56 on the season. Really appreciated all of your guys' comments the other day, just with pretty good ideas, some pretty solid thoughts down there on how they can address the tanking epidemic in the NBA. Like, these end of season games where teams are intentionally sitting out healthy players is bonkers to me. It's also bonkers to anybody who watches any sort of sport that has relegation. Like, European football has this figured out, guys. If you do terrible, you go down a league. So if we were seeing the Washington Wizards, oh shit, we have lost, we're going to lose 60 games this season, we're going to end up playing in the G League next year, I don't think you see this happening. So anyway, we'll see what goes on. The Wizards are fresh off an 8-point loss to another tanking team, the Raptors. So Washington doing a better job there of tanking than Toronto. The Wizards, obviously, another decent day out there from Jordan Poole. They're maybe throttling his minutes down a little bit. He only played 22 minutes in that game, but they're trying to lose games, and they are damn good at it. So loving what we're seeing from the Wizards if we are a Wizards fan and wanting them to tank things out here. In terms of their injury report, they come into this game probably with Middleton and Keyshawn George out. Marcus Smart also very unlikely to play in this game, so not going to be a full-strength squad. And when you see a team tanking, this is one of the hallmarks of tanking, holding probably healthy players out of these games and making up some sort of injury issue. I think we'll see Jordan Poole play abbreviated minutes. Alex Sarr will probably play abbreviated minutes also if he's playing well at all. So yeah, things looking very, very dark here for the Wizards. A terrible team up and down the roster. The 76ers come into this game pretty much in the same boat. They are tanking things out as well. They are fresh off, what is it now, a 5th straight loss. They got blown out. Well, I mean, they lost by 13 points there at New Orleans, so maybe not a blowout, but definitely not a game where the 76ers were really trying to win at all or putting themselves into any sort of position to win, and that's what we've been getting from the 76ers here down the stretch. Got Embiid, Paul George, both out for the season. Maxey going to be clearly held out for the rest of the season. This team, guys, looking pretty bleak. We're seeing guys like Ricky Council IV, Yabusele. Not that Yabusele hasn't had a good season. Like, he's done some positive things, and he's probably the brightest spot for the 76ers on the year, to be honest. it's been real bad, guys. They're just terrible. They're just terrible. They didn't do anything defensively, allowed the Pelicans to shoot nearly 50% from the field and well over 40% from three. The bench looks atrocious. No positives to report here, guys. They're not even really, like, if they're trying to see what they got in their young players, like, it's turning out they don't have very much. So really, really bleak stuff there for the 76ers. Obviously, this is a team that could make a drastic turnaround, for next season if everybody's fully healthy and Paul George decides he wants to actually be, even semi-decent at basketball, even deserve, like 10% of the massive max contract that he signed. But right now, things are looking horrendous there in Philadelphia. So right off the bat here, guys, we've got a toilet bowl on our hands. We've got the Wizards and the 76ers. 76ers are -3 here at home. We got a total of 230 out there. Washington 14-20-2 against spread on the road, 22-31-2 against spread after a loss. They're also a slight over team. The 76ers 11-22-1 against the spread at home, 14-33-1 against the spread after a loss. They're a big over team, guys. They're actually 41-28-3 to the over. Now, do we want to take over 230 in this game? I don't really think I can justify that. Do we want to take the 76ers -3? That doesn't feel great either. I mean, we see the 76ers in terms of their injury report. They're going to be holding about a bunch of guys out as well. Quentin Grimes could come back for this game. That would help. He was rested there on Monday, so maybe he plays in this one, but I don't know. I can't really pick on this one, guys. This is a pick your own nightmare situation. If you're begging me for a play, go ahead and give me the 76ers here at -3 as the Wizards continue to tank things out super aggressively, but I want to stay far, far away from this game. Next up, we got the Toronto Raptors taking on the Brooklyn Nets in effectively another tank fest, guys. The Raptors, though, are fresh off a win, that 112-104 win there at the Wizards. So at least they're allowing their guys to go out there and try and win some games. Not every night. That's not an every night thing they're letting them do. We did see Jakob Poeltl put up 21 points in that game. He played only 26 minutes there. We saw Scotty Barnes play only 28 minutes. He was a +10, scored 13 points, but not his best shooting night. He was 0 of 5 there from long range. As a team, Toronto shot only 10 of 36 from distance. That's not going to work, but they destroyed on the boards, guys. They had 60 rebounds in this game, which tells you a tale of like how bad these teams are at shooting the ball, but 60 rebounds versus the 39 rebounds there, the Wizards. So they do get the win. I guess good stuff there from the Raptors. I don't know, guys. It's really hard to come up with a lot of positives or even a lot of good things to talk about these two teams. Like the Raptors, once they're playing everybody next season, will look pretty decent. But right now, with the way they're tanking things out, they are not looking anywhere close to decent. And once again, we have a very crowded injury report. It looks like Quickly, Grady Dick, and Jakob Poeltl all on the injury report. Quickly, guys, he's not going to be playing in this game due to rest. So a dude that missed most of the season already needs to rest here at the end of the year. That seems reasonable, right? I think not. Grady Dick with his knee issue, he's been ruled out for this game. At least slightly more reasonable. And Jakob Poeltl due to rest. Once again, I find that extremely unreasonable here. So not going to be the full strength Raptors here. Looks like we're going to have a starting lineup of Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and then who freaking ever out there. So we'll see what that looks like here against the Brooklyn Nets, who are fresh off a 4th straight loss. They just lost 120-101 against the very shorthanded Dallas Mavericks. Thought Brooklyn would probably stand up and play a little bit better in that game, but that is not the reality that we saw in that one. Claxton did put up 19 points, so good for him. We saw a decent night out there from Cameron Johnson, but only 1 of 7 from 3. That's a big problem. He had 8 assists, so that has to feel nice, but not a great shooting night for the team as a whole. They didn't do an incredible job on the boards either, and yeah, this is just a squad not running a lot of guys out there, really want to be losing these games, and they're getting damn good at it here at the end of the season, guys. This team can lose some freaking games. And we see the Brooklyn Nets just tanking things out. Looking at the depth chart here, looking at their injury report. Cameron Johnson not going to play in this game. Day'Ron Sharpe not going to play, but it does appear D'Angelo Russell is going to be back and going to be out there. Yeah, Cameron Johnson sitting out due to rest for this game. Yeah, due to rest. Got to rest him up, guys. Got to rest him up. Got to get ready for that offseason. The Nets, 1.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 214.5. Toronto, 21-14 against spread on the road. 15-9 against spread after a win. They're also a 500 over-under team. Brooklyn, 16-18 against spread at home, 26-21-1 against spread after a loss, and they're a slight under team. I don't really think I'm interested in taking under in this game. I mean, under 214.5, that would be a pretty low-scoring game, but I do think there's reason to take the Raptors here, getting a 1.5. They're playing a slightly better roster, maybe, possibly, theoretically. I don't know. I mean, Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett both being out there definitely helps. The Nets, it's a little bit tough to say. You never know. If they are playing D'Angelo Russell, apparently, but who knows how many minutes he'll actually play. So give me a slight lean here towards the Raptors, but I have a really hard time recommending that anyone bet this game. Next on the docket, guys, we got the Los Angeles Lakers going on the road to take on the Indiana Pacers. Finally, a couple of teams who are actually trying to win games right now. The Lakers, though, not having a great time doing that. They've lost 3 in a row. They're 43-28 on the season, losing to the Bucks, Bulls, and Magic over this little stretch. So that's not looking great. LeBron and Luka not having their best time out there, but the problem hasn't necessarily been them. The problem has kind of been the others. Although 9 of 23 from the field for Luka, not exactly what they have in mind, even if he is going to put up 32 points. LeBron put up 24 points, was very efficient shooting the ball, but doesn't really seem fully ready to, I don't know, the defense just didn't feel like it was there, guys. They had no answers there for Banchero and Wagner, and yeah, didn't really have much of an answer for Anthony Black coming off the bench either. So a rough night out there for the Lakers in general. Austin Reeves, he played pretty well, didn't shoot the ball great. The problem is this bench unit is horrendous. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Hachimura obviously coming back from injury. He's not at 100% yet, but he didn't play well. Vanderbilt didn't play well. Gabe Vincent, 4 points. He's turned back into a pumpkin. A bad night out there for Dalton Connect. Only played 5 minutes, made his only shot, but the dude's so bad defensively, you have a really hard time keeping him on the floor. So we'll see what actually, manifests itself here for the Lakers, but Luka and LeBron, coming out and saying they've got to be better. If they're better, the rest of the team will be better. And I think they're correct, but man, a lot falls on the shoulders here of the starters because this is not a team with a lot of depth. Hachimura, guys, he's probable for this game due to that knee thing, so I think we'll see him continue to play, but I doubt that he plays great, and LeBron is listed as probable for this game. I'm very, very confident he'll be out there, and he's at 100% now. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Pacers, who come into this game actually playing great. They're on a 5-game winning streak, and they've been doing what they want to do here late in the season in terms of the standings out there in the East. They're all the way up into the 4 seed, 2 full games clear there of the Milwaukee Bucks, who just got that devastating Damian Lillard news. So we'll see what happens there, but the Pacers have to be feeling good. 42-29 on the year, fresh off of that nice 16-point win against the Timberwolves, who did end up having Anthony Edwards in that game, and it did not matter. Tyrese Halliburton, a nice game, 24 points, played pretty well out there, led the team in scoring, and also put up 11 assists. Pascal Siakam actually, didn't have the best game necessarily shooting the ball, but still put up 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and was a plus 26 out there. Bro plays defense, and that certainly helps. This bench, there's always somebody. It always feels like there's somebody on the Pacers bench that's having a great game, like Obi Toppin. 20 points in that game. Crazy. Dude is on an absolute heater shooting the ball. TJ McConnell played really well. He's a very steady bench guy. And we saw Mathurin even put up 11 points off the bench, despite not shooting the ball that great from the field. So overall, a nice night there from the Pacers. They did a decent job there on the boards, keeping things even against a good rebounding team in the Timberwolves. And overall, there's not a lot of negatives about this Pacers team at the moment. I mean, they're playing great. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, 5-game winning streak. They're in the 4 seed, and I think they would like to hold on to that 4 seed and even maybe challenge the kind of struggling Knicks there for that 3 seed. So we'll see what happens there, but right now, things looking pretty good for those Indiana Pacers, and they come into this game in terms of their health, guys, looking, I would say, very, very good. No major pieces on that injury report, and that's part of the reason they're actually favorites in this game. They're -1. We've got a total of 235.5. The Lakers, 15-18-1 against spread on the road, 13-14 against spread after a loss, and they're a slight under team. The Pacers are a 500 against the spread team at home, but they are real bad, guys. 16-25 against spread after a win. They are 35-34-2 to the over this season. So no real lean for me on the over-under. I mean, maybe slightly over, I guess, but my main lean on this game is going to be to go ahead and take those the Lakers to bounce back here, getting a point. I think we're going to see LeBron and Luka make something happen out here. The Pacers are due for a big down night. They're not a very good team against spread after a win. The Lakers are definitely in a bounce back spot, desperately kind of needing a win here to get things back on track. And I think this is where we see them get it, guys. So go ahead and take them on the money line or whatever you would like. But I think this is a spot you definitely want to be on the Lakers. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the LA Clippers going on the road to take on the New York Knicks. The Clippers come into this game 40-31 on the year. Fresh off a tough loss, they did end up losing 103-101 there against the Thunder. A very, very close game. Not exactly the full strength Thunder out there necessarily, but yeah, it really came down to the wire. And we saw, you got Caruso in the starting lineup there for the Thunder. So they're not exactly the the lineup that they would want to have, but it was close to the full strength Thunder. The Clippers played pretty well. Kawhi, another vintage game. He's looking, surprisingly to me, I did not think we would see this season, but he is looking very, very similar to the real kind of prime looking Kawhi Leonard. So we'll see if that is a real thing. See if that can, he can maintain that into the playoffs without getting hurt. Harden didn't have his best game, only 4 of 14 from the field, but was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And the bench really struggled, guys. 9 points there from Derrick Jones Jr., 9 points there from Amir Coffey, and that's pretty much it. I guess 8 points from Ben Simmons. I don't know, guys. This Clippers bench is not great, but they can get it done. This is a very scary team. Nobody's going to have a good time facing them in the playoffs, but right now, the Clippers, I mean, they need to be winning games. They're currently in the 7th seed. They're only a half game back of the Golden State Warriors. They're in the 6th seed. A very, very real race there with the Warriors now dropping some games, kind of returning to earth from that, pretty hot run there right after they acquired Jimmy. So we'll see what the Clippers can do here as they go on the road to take on these Knicks at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks have now won 2 in a row, taking down the Wizards and the Mavericks, but obviously that was far from the full-strength Dallas Mavericks team. At 45-26, though, the Knicks can feel pretty secure there in the 3 seed. Not 100%. They're only 3 games up on the Pacers, but I don't think they have to be too terrified right now. In that win against the Mavericks, obviously a solid win to get against the Mavs team. It's been surging a little bit. They did give up 38 points to Najee Marshall. That's not great, but we saw OG Anunoby put up 35 of his own. Some pretty good numbers across the board, honestly. Mikal Bridges played well. Karl-Anthony Towns played well. As a team, they shot almost 40% from 3. They had a slight rebounding edge. 11 points off the bench from Landry Shamet. 11 points off the bench from Precious Achiuwa. They're finding a way to kind of mix and match here and make things work without Jalen Brunson. Now, that is resulting in a large scoring burden being placed on the shoulders of Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. Basically, all the starters have to step up in a big way, but right now, they're kind of making it happen. So, got to give the Knicks some pretty major credit for that. There were a lot of people that thought the wheels were going to absolutely come off for this team once Jalen Brunson went down with that ankle injury, but it's not looking quite so bad. Not all doom and gloom here. We do see Brunson, Miles Bridges, and Mitchell Robinson all on the injury report here. Brunson, guys, he's making progress, but he's not going to be back for at least another, 6 to 7 days, something like that. So close to a week, probably. Obviously, you don't know for sure, but that's kind of what's being reported. Miles McBride dealing with that groin issue. He didn't play there against Dallas. There's some chance that he will play here on the second half of a back-to-back. We see Mitchell Robinson, guys, with his ankle issue is out for this game, was out for that game against the Mavs. So I guess there's a chance he comes back, but bro has not looked like himself. I think that's going to be a little bit brutal. So looking at the numbers, the Knicks getting 2.5 points. We've got a total of 217.5. The Clippers 14-21 against spread on the road. A 500 against this red team after a loss. They were 37-32 2 to the under. The Knicks 17-17-1 against spread at home. 2-9 on the year against spread on no rest. They're 19-24-1 against spread after a win, and they are a slight over team. I'm not messing with the over-under here, guys, but I am taking the Clippers. They're in a bounce-back spot after a loss. I know that hasn't been an amazing spot for them this season, but it's been good enough to cancel out the fact they're playing on the road. Everybody wants to have a good night at Madison Square Garden. I think Harden is no exception to this, and he's in a bounce-back spot after a bad game. So go ahead and give me the Clippers here at -2.5. The Knicks, not a team you want to be backing when they're playing on back-to-back nights. Next up, guys, we've got the Milwaukee Bucks going on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets. The Bucks come into this game 40-31 on the season, fresh off a tough 2-point loss there against the Suns. But the real problem here is that we see Damian Lillard with a deep vein thrombosis, blood clot in his right calf. He's on blood thinners now, stabilize the blood clot. He's going to be, doing testing and all that kind of stuff, but he's out indefinitely because you can't be playing basketball when you're on blood thinners like that, guys. It can be super, super dangerous. And while Dame, dedicated to the sport, a guy that I think is more than willing to play through injury, you're not going to be even allowed to play through something that is life-threatening like this. So no Dame Lillard for the foreseeable future, probably for the rest of the season. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, but this is a similar thing, a different body part, but a similar thing overall to what happened to Wemby. And yeah, you can't really be messing around with blood clots, guys, and you can't be messing around with blood thinners when you're trying to play professional level basketball. So we'll see what the Bucks are able to do. They're fresh off a 2-point loss there against the Suns like we were talking about. They had no answers there for Kevin Durant. And yeah, despite seeing Giannis put up 31, Brook Lopez put up 23, 19 points off the bench from Gary Trent Jr., not enough there against a pretty mediocre Suns team. We saw the Bucks get out-rebounded drastically there. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well from the free throw line. A lot of that falls on Giannis's shoulders. He was 6 of 13 there from the charity stripe. As a team, they only shot 30% from 3. Things are going to have to really freaking come together for this team if they're going to be any sort of significant threat out there in the East. They're currently in the 5 seed, but they're tied with Detroit for the 6 seed, and they are 5.5 games up on the Hawks, so I don't think they can fall that far with Giannis in the lineup, but man, it's looking brutal here. And that whole revamp of that lineup, getting rid of Jrue Holiday and bringing in Dame, not looking like the best idea. It's not working out for the Bucks, and that could spell some pretty weird things here in the Giannis situation coming into next season. So we'll see what happens for them coming into this particular game. The Bucks obviously, not going to have Dame out there. Who knows when or if they'll have him back this season. Giannis is the only other guy on the injury report. He's listed as questionable due to a left foot sprain. So not his normal thing that he's on the injury report for. So it seems like there's an actual chance he could end up missing this game as they go on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets, who feels like they've kind of packed it in here for the end of the season, to be honest, with the guys that they've been resting and stuff. They're fresh off a 10-point loss against the Bulls. That was a back-to-back game. So, yeah, that wasn't an easy spot for them by any stretch. They did get that good win against the Rockets, a big Jamal Murray game there. But, yeah, we see Jamal Murray on the second half of back-to-back putting up 28 points. Like, it's nice to see him looking healthy, getting out there on back-to-backs. Seems like that surgically repaired knee is, basically back to 100% at this point. We obviously did not see Jokic in that game. Another, 30-plus minute night there for DeAndre Jordan. Pretty crazy to see that. Michael Porter Jr., 1 of 10 from 3. As a team, they shot only 30% from long range. The bench looked terrible outside of Westbrook, who had a pretty inefficient shooting night, if I am being honest. But overall, not the best night for the Denver Nuggets, but it doesn't seem like they really care that much about, things down the stretch. I think they feel like as long as they avoid the play-in, they really don't they need to do, and they're, 4 full games up on the Clippers for the 7th seed, so they should be fine there. I don't think they care that much, even about home court advantage. This is a team with championship pedigree. They know when they're healthy, and they've got Jokic. They can beat literally anyone in the NBA. So we'll see what things look like for them down the stretch. See if they continue to rest guys. We see Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic all on the injury report. Christian Brown, guys, dealing with that foot issue. He's probable, so it sounds like he's going to come back and play in this game. Last time he played was on the 24th against the Bulls. So yeah, he played 39 minutes. So yeah, I think it's pretty unlikely that he ends up sitting this game out. Aaron Gordon with his calf is questionable for this one. The last time he played was back on the 23rd at Houston. He played really well. He's been playing really, really well down the stretch here. Jokic, obviously the most important one, he has been listed as probable for this game. So it looks like we're going to have Jokic back. He's going to be out there. He's going to be balling again. They gave him some time off. I think we'll see them do that more and more here down the stretch. They want to make sure he's healthy and rested for the stretch run in the playoffs. So looking like basically the full-strength Denver Nuggets here. And despite that, they're only -4. That feels pretty weird. Kind of feels like a trap. Feels like the odds makers maybe know something that we don't hear about this injury situation for the Denver Nuggets. But I can't justify not taking that unless we get some weird news. Unless we get more information. Nuggets are -4. We've got a total of 226. The Bucks only 15-19-1 against spread on the road, 14-15-1 against spread after a loss, and they're a slight under team. Denver 16-18-1 against spread at home, 14-13 against spread after a loss, and they're a huge over team. So you could maybe even interest me in over 226 in this game. I think there's a decent chance we see enough offense to make that happen, but I really think the value in this one is taking the Denver Nuggets here at -4, and you probably want to jump on that before anything changes too significantly, because Jokic playing in this game should make this pretty much a walkover, unless they get some sort of huge, one-game bump there from the devastating Damian Lillard news. Next up, guys, we are looking at our last NBA game, but not our last game of the video for the night. We've got the Boston Celtics going on the road to take on the Phoenix Suns. The Celtics gotta be pretty tilted about this situation, guys, with Tatum getting hurt like that. I'm not going to say it was a fully dirty play, but felt a little dirty to me. I don't think there was any ill intent behind it. The Celtics do still win that game against the Kings, winning 113-95. But Tatum, he's listed as doubtful for this game, which is, I'm surprised he's even he should just be listed as out. There's no chance that he should be playing in this game. The Celtics don't have too much to gain here down the stretch regardless. They're basically locked into that 2 seed. They're 4.5 games back at the Cavaliers there for the top seed out there in the East. So not a whole lot left for them to play for. We did see them play a pretty good game, though. 22 points off the pine for Pritchard. Continues to just play out of his mind. Luke Cornett shooting the ball well. 38% from 3 for the Celtics will certainly work, especially on the kind of volume that this team shoots. So really liking what we're seeing from Boston in terms of their injury situation. Tatum, really the only guy on there. So it looks like they're going to be at full strength, except for Tatum, who probably will and definitely should end up sitting this game out. So we'll see what happens there, but I do expect him to be sidelined for this game. But other than that, the Celtics are healthy here as they go on the road to take on the Phoenix Suns, who at 35-37 on the year and winners of 5 out of their last 6 are really giving it a go here. They're currently in the 10 seed. They're a half game up on the Dallas Mavericks. They're only a half game back of the Sacramento Kings. So this is a team that very, very much has a shot here. And the Kings are looking like they're about to lose too. So yeah, it looks like we could see the Suns maybe as high as the 9 seed. They're not going to end up in the 8 seed, but who's going to really be stoked to face Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in the play-in tournament? It's not going to be the Timberwolves or the Clippers. Those are the 2 teams that are in there right now, or the Warriors. Any team that ends up in there, that's not a tandem that you really want to end up facing. In that win against the Milwaukee Bucks, KD went nuts again. 38 points, very efficient shooting numbers. The dude just looking like a monster. Devin Booker hit a huge shot down the stretch despite having a terrible night shooting the ball kind of overall. As a team, we saw some pretty decent shooting numbers, to be honest. The bench chipped in, a lot of guys contributing there off the pine, but yeah, the Suns all of a sudden starting to look like they're turning it on, starting to look like they're trying on a nightly basis. And shocker, getting Bradley Beal out of the mix, the guy that, held their franchise hostage at the trade deadline, making everybody play a little bit better. Maybe you go ahead and send him home. That would be my look for sure. The Suns come into this game and turns their injury report looking like Bradley Beal won't be playing in this game, so that's a big plus for them. That hamstring issue has him ruled out for this game. The Suns are getting 3.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 223.5. Boston 18-17-1 against spread on the road, 17-34-1 against spread after a win. They are 40-32 to the under. The Suns 14-21-1 against spread at home, 9-24-1 against spread after a win. They are 36-36 to the over/under. I almost want to break my rule, guys. The Suns are so bad at home. I almost want to break my rule about fading the Boston Celtics coming off a win, but with no Tatum out there and the Suns playing so well, this game feels really, really tough to me. I kind of honestly do lean towards the Celtics. It just feels impossible to ignore that rule. Obviously, Phoenix has terrible numbers in this situation, but they have been outplaying those numbers recently, so it's more or less a stay away spot for me. If you're begging me for a pick, I am leaning towards the Celtics here at -3.5, but I cannot justify putting this in the pinned comment, given the trends we've seen from Boston all season long when coming off of a win. Now, guys, hopping over to the college side, we're looking at a couple of NIT games. And first up, we are looking at the NIT quarterfinal between Kent State and Loyola Chicago. The Golden Flashes come into this game winners against St. Bonaventure and Stanford. So, yeah, a blowout win there against St. Bonaventure, but barely getting by Stanford, guys. Sullinger putting up 34 points in that game. Massive night out there from Jalen Sullinger. That's the kind of performance you dream about having in the NCAA tournament. Not so much in the NIT, but Bro will certainly take it. Definitely turning some heads out there. The Golden Flashes were a pretty good team all year long. I mean, 24-11 on the season. Not looking horrible going into Stanford and getting that big win in a solid environment. Maybe not an amazing environment, but a solid environment is pretty impressive. They shot 40% from three in the win. They had a little edge there on the boards, which had to feel good. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well from the free throw line. That doesn't help, but when you've got a guy like Sullinger going absolutely nuts out there, 7 of 10 from three, it's going to be pretty hard to stop that. So a good night there from Kent State for sure. They're going to be hoping they can carry that over in this one. Obviously, winning the NIT, a nice little consolation prize if you missed the big dance. So on the season, a good rebounding team, a good defensive team. The offense, a little bit up and down for sure, but this is a squad that we've seen do some good stuff. So they've got a chance here to taking on Loyola Chicago to do some more good stuff. We'll see if they can make that happen once again on the road, guys. The Ramblers come into this game winners against San Jose State and San Francisco. They beat San Jose State by 3. They beat San Francisco by 1. This team plays some close freaking games, guys. The Ramblers rode a 35-point performance there from Jaden Dawson to that win in that game against against San Francisco. So they'll take that, but man, can you depend on that on a nightly basis? I would say no. Jaden Dawson averaged less than 14 points per game on the year, but they do get the win. San Francisco, not an easy team to beat. Obviously, a very, very close game there. The shooting numbers for Loyola Chicago, pretty pedestrian. 25% from three, 40% from the field. They got out-rebounded in this game. Overall, it feels like they got pretty lucky. I'm going to be honest. I don't love what we've seen from the Ramblers. They got knocked out of their conference tournament by VCU. It was kind of a close game, but yeah, they cared more about this tournament than I thought they would. They were playing some crazy close games. They're playing with fire here, guys, and at some point, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. We see Loyola Chicago, 4.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 144.5. Kent State, a 500 against the spread team on the year, a significant under team. Loyola Chicago, 18-16 against the spread, 17-16 to the over. So not a lot of big trends there to go with. I would maybe lean slightly towards the under, but I think you want to be on Kent State and the points. We see Loyola Chicago continuing to play these super close games. I think we see another super close game, and if we're playing a close one, I'll definitely take those couple of free possessions. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the UAB Blazers going on the road to take on the UC Irvine Anteaters. The Blazers, guys, 24-12 on the year. They didn't have the season they imagined, finishing third out there in the American, but they're making the best out of a bad situation by going on a little run here in the NIT. They are fresh off of that win over Santa Clara, 88-84 win, so very, very close stuff. They played a close one against St. Joseph's as well, so yeah, this team playing some close games in the NIT. I'm not super shocked by that. UAB, obviously a team that would have wanted to be in the NCAA tournament. I'm sure that was their, that was their goal when they set out, on their season. But you got to take what you can get at the end of the day. We saw, very good stuff. Lendenborg and, Coleman both scoring over 20 points in the win. As a team, they shot 46% from three, a good shooting day from the free throw line as well, all to kind of counteract the fact they got kind of crushed on the boards there by Santa Clara. So not the best defensive team, not the best rebounding team from UAB. Like their numbers are, a decent, like they're good rebounding numbers, mostly a function of them being such a high octane offense. But they are a top 18, top 20 offensive team, and they're probably going to have the best player on the floor in this game. So that a couple things that definitely help there as they go on the road to take on this UC Irvine Anteater squad who put up 30 wins on the season, guys. They're 30-6 overall now. Not maybe the toughest opponents that they faced this season. And they've also, they've done a pretty good job here in the NIT. They're coming off of a nice 10-point win there against Northern Colorado, 82-72. We saw Devin Tills put up 24 points, so that's not bad. That's not a bad night at all. Not their normal leading scorer, so they'll certainly take that. A good win there by the Anteaters. Definitely a team that's, not going to be embarrassed to be in the NIT. They're probably happy to be here and happy to put in solid performances. Yeah, that Tillis 24-point game, nice. Justin Hahn, 15 points. No major contributions off the bench necessarily, but they weren't terrible. They did get out rebounded in this game. They also allowed their opponent to shoot 9 of 16 from 3, which is obviously a bit problematic. So things they could do to tighten up their defense for sure here. Over the course of the season, though, they've been an elite defensive team, giving up around 66 points per game. The rebounding numbers, very good. The offensive numbers, not elite necessarily, but solid here. And we actually see them as favorites here at home in this game. They're 4.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 160.5. UAB, 19-16 against the spread this season, 18-16-1 to the over. UC Irvine, 22-13 against the spread, 12-14 to the under. I think we're going to see UC Irvine inflict their pace of play on this game. Getting them to win by 4.5 does seem like a little bit expensive, but I like the Anteaters here. I think they've got a decent chance in this game. UAB seems like they're kind of over it. They've been playing these super close games, and if their offense gets slowed down, I don't think they really know what to do if they have to play in the half court all the time. So go ahead and give them the Anteaters in this one to get the win and cover. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. Get over to stumpthespread.com. Check out everything we offer over there. Definitely get on our free email newsletter, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action with the beginning of Major League Baseball season.